this is a tutorial. And I'll fix that in a minute. Whoop. So this is shunt. So yeah, I'm not going to worry about the test because I'm not really looking at playing the scenario as such. What I want to do is for those that are trying to figure out how to play shunting scenarios and they don't understand what they need to do, then I want to try and help that. So shunting scenarios are cool. Oh, Kevin says, sadly, a delivery was attempted while I was in a meeting. No! Fail. Oh, that sucks. That's really bad. Anyway, so yes, shunting scenarios. They're really cool. They're really fun. They're a bit different to the usual kind of scenario. And you have to drive the train a bit more because you're constantly going forwards and backwards, doing various things. But trying to work out where you've got to go and where you've got to put things can be a bit of a nightmare at times. I've just noticed there's a German shunter over there. Right, so we're on the Doncaster Works route. So let's press the 9 key and just acclimatise ourselves with this. This is a bit of a mess, isn't it? There's a load of stuff going on here. It's very exciting. But what we can see is our task list. So let's, we can have a look at the task. You can press F1 to get the task list. And this is us saying that collect. And these are the numbers of the wagons we need to pick up. To the front of Yard Shunter, which is me, at Works Arrival 1. So Works Arrival 1 is where these are. So we pick these up and we want to put them on the front of the train. If it said to the back of, then we will be having to put them on the back. Now that gives you an idea of where you need to, how you need to manoeuvre around in order to make sure you put in the wagons or the coaches or whatever you're hauling around on the correct side of the train. Because if you get it on the wrong side, you might not be able to finish the scenario. You certainly won't get a tick for the instruction. So if we press 9 and go to the map view, first thing I'm going to do is hit center player. Where are we? We are this little green thing here. So mouse wheel up and down. You can't see the task list, you're right. Let me just close the cameras off. And the background. And the other background. Got too many backgrounds enabled. Go away, backgrounds! Thank you. Right, now you can see the task list. Right. So yes, the first instruction, couple 350101 and 350303 to the front of Yard Shunter at Works Arrival 1. So, first question is where are we? Second question is where is Works Arrival 1? It's there. It's this line here. So if we look down this line, there's nothing that way. Go up this thing. Here you go. Look, there's two items here. We're looking for two. That's probably our two. We'll find out in a minute. So where we are is here, and we need to come all the way up there and all the way back down here. And notice it said couple to the front, so we need to be coming in that way. Because you could do it by coming forward here and going back, but then we'd be coupling to the back, and it says couple to the front. So we don't do that. We are going to therefore change this point by clicking on it. Notice the blue line, you're following the blue line. However, an extra little wrinkle, someone's left these here, just to make our life a little bit difficult. So we can't really go back that way, that would have been nice and easy. So we're going to have to go forwards. So I'm going to change this point and then change this point. Notice this blue line is following its way down. And change this point, right. Now, I've just told you I want to go that way, up to the top, and here I am routing myself forwards. I'm doing exactly what I said I shouldn't do. That's because what I'm going to do is come forward and pull back up through here. This is where shunting scenarios are really interesting because they force you to think a little bit more about what you're doing. And you'll have to come back a few times and come up with different strategies and maybe come up with a faster way of doing the scenario. This isn't necessarily the best way of doing it. I don't know. I've not played the scenario. Actually, I could come down this way and come back up Loco Main Shed Avoider and then come back down that way. In fact, I think I'm going to do that. So, if we now pull forward to here. So we're going to go forward now. So, let's... rear coupler. Thank you. And no. Oh, we're in gear naught. Duh. So So this thing's got gears. You have to put it in gear, apparently. So I'm going to leave the task list up so you can see what we're trying to do. This little thing is interesting to drive. Finally got there. So we are going to go back into the map view and just keep an eye on where we're at. So this is us moving, and I wanted to go down this line. So when I finish this, past this point here, I can put the brakes on. So that's the one we're going over. So I'm going to get some brakes applied now. And we're going to stop. Put it back on that one and go reverse. So again, we're driving the train. I feel like we're in control of something a little bit more. Changing the points so that the blue line continues on. And we're going to North Shunt. Yep, that takes us all the way out to the pinch point at the other end of the yard, and then we can come in. So actually where we want to go is this siding. It's that point we need to change to get to the other part of the yard. So let's go ahead and do that. We need to reverse now. Right, so we're up to line speed now. So going by the avoiding line. So here we are, running back round. And this is something that when you're doing a shunting scenario, you are going to play about with different ideas and about how you're going to move around it. And if you find you're going the wrong way, just go back and find a different way around. It takes practice, and you'll get more familiar with yards and the best ways to navigate around them. Right. Thrash this little thing, shall we? This route always makes me sad, if I'm honest. There's all these dead trains, and they're in my favourite livery. Right, so we're coming up on the shunt neck at the top here, so I'm going to take the power off. In a minute I'll apply some brake. How am I shifting gears? With the E key to shift up and the Shift E key to shift down. So this is that shunt neck I was talking about. Slow down a bit too much there. Right, so now we've made it over to here. I'm going to change that point. Now, where were we trying to get to? We need to get to here. There's the blue line there, so let's change that point. And now we're coming in one along next to it. And this is a three-way point. So whereas normally here you've got a two-way point, here you've got a three-way point. So if I click it, if you watch the blue line, it's just cycling backwards and forwards. Yeah, so now we've got it pointed to the line we want. We're in a good position to go. So you can see the cheese wedge, as I call it, is sitting here, and it's directly in front of us. Ride car, I actually don't have it mapped to the rail driver yet. I'd completely forgotten about geared locos, but it'll take a minute to do. So what we're going to do is when we get there, we are going to, so we're going into this end siding on here, which is where we're going. Before we couple up, I'm actually going to double check, make sure that it's the right one, so you can show you actually what those numbers mean, these numbers here. So we'll do that in a minute. Right, we're nearly there. Jack Sims, yes, I was on the Squirrel forums earlier on having a look. Right, so we've stopped just ahead of the wagons. So before we go any further, let's stop the train again and just have a quick look at these wagons. There's 350-101, which is that one. And there's 350-305, which is that one. So those are the correct wagons. And we can now release and go forward. So if you're thinking, shunting scenarios, it's a bit of a it's a bit of a puzzle. That's exactly the point. A good shunting scenario will make you think. Right, so we've coupled, and you'll notice that now we get the tick because it's coupled to the front, and then we're going to drop them off at Carriage Shop Pit 4. So let's go and have a look at Carriage Shop. Where are we now? So now we've got to go all the way back up to here. So what that means is coming all the way back into the shunt neck, and then coming back up to here across the double slip here. Right. So, release brakes and off we go. Of course, now we've got something actually loaded, it's a bit difficult. Because all of a sudden this shunt has got an awful lot of weight wanting to stop it. Vabi Nashraju, how do you move around in the free mode with the camera? So if I press 8 and I unlock the camera, we'll let the loco fly away. Right arrow, left arrow, cursor keys, forward key, backward key. I'm using camera view 8. So you just press 8 to unlock the camera. So right, left, forwards, backwards. Hold the right mouse button down and then move the mouse around. So you can now do that, and then you can strafe with the right key. You can go up and down with control up and control down. Mouse wheel will then let you do zooming. I'm not sure what else. Oh, shift key. So if you want to go really fast, press the shift key. No shift key. Without. You can shift back. Now if you go really high, you can shift really quickly. Just by being high, you can go really fast. Sorry. Right, now we've lost our train. Oh, there we are. Right, let's get back to what we're doing. So I hope that's explained how to do the camera. Use the mouse key for the mouse button for field of view. Fringe Starlin, have I ever seen Jurassic Park? I have indeed seen Jurassic Park. So if you're going 300 kilometers an hour and you want to get ahead of your train, just fly up, because you'll get faster. BNSF, this is a tutorial. It's a scenario as well, but it's mostly a tutorial. What I'm trying to do is to explain how to do shunting scenarios. Now you can change points here if you want to. If it's got one of these, then if you hover your mouse over it, you get the that. It will change the point over, and you can just click on it. However, what I find when I'm doing shunting scenarios is I want to see this blue line. I want to know where I'm going, because I need to change that one now. I'll change that one. Change that one to get it across. We need to come into this road here, so that those two. Now you'll get. I'm doing this quite quickly. I'm just basically pulling the blue line where I want it to go. As you get more comfortable with it, you'll find that you can do that as well. So don't worry if you go a bit slower. That's perfectly okay. Oops, starting it in second gear, never mind. Right, so now we go forward. What about automated points, says Steam Trains Unlimited? Basically, if there are automated points, then you need to do nothing with them at all. As soon as you have cleared the junction, the dispatcher signalman will change the point for you. They're a bit tricky because you need to make sure as a scenario author that you're making it clear what you need the player to do so that it works with that. If you don't tell them you need to go out to this point so that it changes the point and then routes you back in, they're going to be going all over the place and wondering how they do it. So make your scenarios clear. But then as a player, if you expect clarity, then if it says go to a particular point, turn round and then go to another point, if it's an automatic junction, it'll change automatically. You don't have to do anything. Right, so we're coming up now. So we went over the double slip, which is that one. And now we're dropping these wagons into this siding. Now the other thing you can check when you're doing these is it says carriage shop pit 1. So we're dropping off, which means we're going to uncouple the wagons. These two, to the two we picked up, at carriage shop pit 1, which is this over here. And you can see it on the map down here. And the important thing is when you drop them off, you need to drop them off, make sure the wagons are on that yellow line. It's taking too long. Speed up. Right, so you can see that carriage shop pit 1 is coming up. Let's go into carriage shop. There's pit 1 here. So once we've got both the wagons over the yellow, then we can stop the train. Probably they intended for it to go a bit further forward, so let's just do that. As long as they're on the yellow area, that's fine. So now, how do we uncouple? So if we look at this coupling view button down here, you can see 03014 is my loco, 350101 and then 350305. Those are these two wagons here. And what you can do is, these are the couplings, these are the handbrakes. So you click on it, you turn the handbrakes on, and now those they move anywhere as easily. And then this is the coupling. So if I want to uncouple these two wagons, now we're in the right place. It said carriage shop pit 1. We're there. Those are the two wagons, so we just uncouple them by clicking on it. And we get our tick. Now we've got to go back to works departure 1, which is these ones here, and we need to couple these two. So let's head back out to there. So you can also select different targets on here, and just to give yourself an idea. If the target destination is off screen, you'll see a little blue arrow here. Let me turn, I can't turn that off. It's very difficult to show the blue arrow because it gets hidden by something, but hopefully you can see the blue arrow. And then there's the pizza wedge once it's on screen. So let's keep going. Right. So we'll do this one more time, and that's the end of the scenario, just to sort of prove the point. So this is one of the main things you'll do in a shunting scenario, is picking things up and dropping things off. There are other things like marshalling, but I'll leave that for another time. Over the double slip. Steam trains, that tends to suggest, so Steam Train says moving into the head shunt, setting back to the turntable, and the automated point won't set. That generally means that you've gone the wrong way. You're going somewhere that the scenario author has not expected you to go, and therefore the junction won't set. So what you need to do is rethink what you're doing in the way of your path, and see if there's an alternative way of doing it. So again, we've changed the point, so I changed this one up here to switch back to this half the yard, and we go back to, and it basically took us back to Works Arrival 1 where we started. We need to get to Works Departure 1, which is this one next to it. So we changed that three-way junction again, and we're good to go. So yes, someone asked about marshalling. Marshalling, yeah, it's about, as Coplop just said, it's about, it's where, see, at the moment I'm being told very specific step-by-step instructions. Marshalling is really about, the end result needs to look like this, you figure it out. Which is even more puzzly. And quite a lot of fun, if I'm honest. CAD, this is a scenario that comes with Doncaster Works. It's called Wagon Wheels, as you can see. So, we've got to pick up a couple of wagons. Those are our wagons I think we want to pick up. So again, it was a couple, those two, we'll check the numbers again, to the front of us at Works Departure 1. Oh, wagon wheels are awesome. Don't make me hungry. So as you can see with a shunting scenario, you really are getting much more involved with driving the train than you would normally, because you're stopping, starting, coupling, and so forth. Right, so we've buffered up to the wagon. If you now press the coupling button, the other way you can couple up, because I've appeared closer to it, if I pull away, you'll see they disappear. If I now come up to it again, as soon as I'm close enough to it, they'll appear. So I can just click that to couple, or you can press Control-Shift-C. You've got a couple of options. Looking at our numbers, 350832 is that one, and 350034 is that one, so we have the right wagons. So let's get reversing while we work out where we're going with it, which is actually back up to there again, to the next siding along. Right, let's do that. Yeah, Kev, you're right. Wagon wheels have got, they're like 2/3 the size, if I'm being generous. They used to be enormous. It was just epic. What, Lucas Eddie, what's my favourite livery? BR Blue Grey, because it's the livery I grew up with. Right, so we're pulling these wagons back up to the head shunt. As soon as we've cleared the junction, we can switch again. Right, put the brakes on, then we can stop. So we change the point. Where are we going now? We've got to go to this one over here, which is the next one along, so we just change that point. The blue line will allow us to follow off to the drop-off instruction. So, off we go. I really shouldn't be starting in gear 3 all the time. It's very bad. So again, you can see we're going for Carriage Shop Pit 2. You can just about read that. If I go to the 9 view, you can see it says Carriage Shop Pit 2. And indeed it says Carriage Shop Pit 2 here, which means that we've set all the right points and we're on the right tracks. Ba-dum-bum. Insane Kawaii, thank you for the follow, much appreciated. Right, so we're coming back into the shop. Remember, we need to get the things that we're dropping off have to actually be on the yellow marker for the shed. Stop here. And we can uncouple. So we're on the yellow marker, so we can uncouple by clicking on the coupling marker and uncoupling. Right, and now we just have to go to Wagon Shop 5 to collect our next work order, which will end the scenario. So Wagon Shop 5 is up here, so we need to come back and then come back up here and then come back down here. So just when you thought it was going to get easy. So I'm going to take the north shunt to do that rather than going all the way out there. So we take the north shunt and then we'll come back in. So let's just come back. No one's probably thanking me for dumping all of these diesel fumes in the building, but never mind. Not my problem. Might as well deafen them. Rainbow drops, they were awesome. Used to love a bag of rainbow drops. Oh, you have a cab view, absolutely. Just keep an eye on where I'm going. Right, the slip is where our head shunt is. We're taking the left line. Right, stop now. And now we can change that point. Now our goal is to get up there, so we need to actually change that and come up here. Change that, and I would change that and come down here. You possibly could get away with coming in here and squeezing in there and going back, but why risk it? Let's come up there and then we can just change the line and go back in there. Steam trains would shoot a J50 or a J94, or I would possibly also add a 3F and a 2F to that list, or a 56XX. That's all good stuff. Railhead says it would be fun to risk it. Absolutely. Live life on the edge. Get back to work. Right. Past these coaches that were in our way. People, get out of the coach, people. Right, so we've stopped and then we're here, and now we're going to change to that point, and then we can come back into Wagon Shop 5, which is this line here. So when we reverse, we should see Wagon Shop 5 has appeared in the mini HUD, confirming we're going in the right direction. More layabouts not doing any work. Get back to work. Taking the left line and struggling to bend my neck so that I can see what I'm doing. And as soon as we're on the yellow line, we can stop. And as soon as because this is a stop at instruction. So in a stop at instruction, once you've stopped on the particular marker, which is Wagon Shop 5, then the red thing will do its job, and then we are done. Right, well done on this simple shunting task. I just made that sound a heck of a lot harder than it really is. So, they're taking a leaf out of my book. No, I would be in a train, 400 miles an hour, whoosh, down the line. Nebworth? What Nebworth? Right, so that was a sort of an overview of how to play shunting scenarios. I hope that was useful. If not, for people watching, because I know you guys all pretty much know what you're doing, hopefully someone on YouTube will benefit from that. Or I've just wasted my breath, in which case that's fine, because I enjoyed it actually. That was quite a good little shunting scenario. I make everything look harder. Thanks, Phil. Right. Go back to changing route. What are we doing?